So many years ago, a good friend of mine had the great fortune of being able to have lunch with Coach John Wooden. For those of you who know Coach John Wooden, you know he was the greatest basketball coach, maybe the greatest coach in any sport that ever lived. He went on to become one of the greatest executive coaches, mentoring CEOs and business owners throughout the second half of his career. This friend of mine sat down with Coach Wooden one day at lunch and he said, "Coach, it's so good I get to meet you because I'm going to be coaching my son's fourth grade basketball team this year. What should I teach him?" Coach Wooden thought for a minute and he looked at him and he said, "I think if you could get them to not worry about how the other guys play, you'll have a great season." My friend looked at me and goes, "Really? Like, not worry about how the other guys play?" And Coach Wooden said, "Yeah, because you see, I always stressed with my team and those executives that I work with that the more you focus on others, the more unfocused you really are, right?" So what Coach Wooden did as an exercise for everybody he worked with is he had them draw this line down the middle of a piece of paper. And on the left-hand side at the top, it was things I cannot control, right? And the cannot being the big piece of this sentence. And he said, when we focus on the left-hand side of the page, we drive down our performance and we drive up our stress because we become so hyper-focused on the unknown. We become hyper-focused on the things that we have no impact on and we can't do anything about except worry. And on the right-hand side of the page, when I write things I can control, and I focus on the things on this side of the page, I drive up my performance and I drive down my stress and anxiety level, right? And it's such a tool for freedom. It becomes so powerful to think of problems in terms of the things I cannot control versus the things I can control. Because when we focus on the left-hand side of this page, these things come real fast and furious to us, right? There's 1, 2, 3, there might be 50 things throughout the course of the day, either in managing my business or managing my sales pipeline or leading the team that I have that I can't control. And the more I focus on these things, the more I go into the spiral. When I get to the right-hand side of the page about the things I can control, I might have 5, right? Maybe I'll have 5 or 6 items that when I stay focused and I know that I'm going to control what I can control, great things can happen, right? The result is we get to go home a lot less stressed. We get to stay in the moment and focus on outcomes versus living in the land of worry. So I invite you to think about a situation you're dealing with in life. Maybe it's at home, maybe it's at work, and take out a blank piece of paper. Do yourself a favor, write a line down the middle, and think about the things you cannot control versus the things you can control. And take a little measure of how you feel at the end of the exercise. Do you feel better? Is your stress level lower? Do you feel a little more confident about being able to get the results and the outcomes that you're hoping for? I suspect you will.